what should I call you? Venkat?
Yes, sir, Venkat.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining in, and yeah, I'm pleased actually to be sharing. I mean, some of the information actually you requested that are quite actually frequent from like I mean all my subscribers, and I was really keen actually to share that all in one video. Also, you put me really in a challenging position actually when I saw some of your question about the highway and transportation. Obviously, not my really sort of yeah my strong point. Obviously, I'm in the railway sector rather than the highway, but I'm sure yeah I did quite a long research actually, and that's the reason I generally ask yeah the candidates to share your questions so I can do my background research, so that can be really effective actually what information I can share from my end. But yeah, before I just talk about your questionnaire, we're going to go through those questions. I would like you just to have a brief introduction of yourself, and then like what the aspirations are actually from this session from your end, so we can carry on yeah after that with your question answers.
Okay, sir. I completed my BTech on 2011, sir. From there onwards, May 2011 onwards, I'm working in highway sector only, sir. Okay, sir, are you listening? Are you understanding?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. From May 2011 to till now, I'm working in road sector only, sir. Various projects. First 3 years, May 2011 to 2014, in one company, sir, private company. Then after, I joined in central government of India as a contract employee till now, 2014 to 2022. I worked as a site engineer technical like that, sir. Okay. Then I want to come to UK, sir, on skill worker basis, sir. Okay. And I searched for so many websites. They're telling that CSCS card required for UK job like that. That's why some videos you all kept, sir. That also I checked, sir. That's uh, that's why I joined your Patreon, sir.
Okay, now thank you very much. So you mentioned you already in the UK, is that correct?
No, sir. I'm not in UK, sir. I'm I'm in India.
You're in India, so are you planning to come over to
Yes,
UK?
sir.
Is that the
Yes, sir.
plan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what's the current sort of yeah situation with yourself? Are you applying for the jobs at the moment, or what sort of yeah
Yes,
currently?
sir. I'm applying for the job, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's good enough for me actually, just to understand your background. Obviously, I mean, you are in the highway and transportation sector, as you mentioned. But I did a bit of a research on the memberships actually, where you asked for also the CSCS card, which is yeah primarily it is important, especially if you're working with a contractor on site. Basically, that is very actually relevant sort of yeah card you need to have yeah to go on site. Basically, the CSCS card. But the actually affiliation or membership of the institution, I think that is really vital. I mean, like especially if someone like yourself, you got experience of like 11 years, and if you go on top of that, if you go the membership of the either ICE or IET, basically, so that add a lot of value there actually. So there is a huge demand for the actually the qualified engineers here. So it's we got to go through yeah each individual sort of yeah membership there. Let me share my screen if I could, so we can go through one by one, yeah, all your questions. And obviously, I mean, if you got any further questions, we can go through those as well. So I'm just presuming you can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So what I did actually, I've taken your question and then I did my research, and then yeah, what the relevant information you need to go through basically to achieve and basically guide yourself through that question. So But the first question from yourself was about the CSCS test for managers.
Yes.
So in terms of the CSCS, as I said, it's primarily important for those who's working on the construction side. If you're working in the office environment, so generally it's very rare you go on site, so you don't generally need in that sort of position, especially if you're working for a consultant. I would just give you an example of myself. Actually, I'm working in the design office. So although I got one of the CSCS card a long time ago, where I had basically, it was a requirement actually to go on site and check basically what the contractors are doing on site. So that was just a requirement based on the project itself. That's where I got actually the CSCS card. But apart from that, actually in my sort of 15, 16 years experience in civil engineering, I never had on another project, I never had that CSCS card. So it all depends actually about your role, what your role is actually on the specific project. And that's where you would need, I mean, if you're going on site and checking basically the contractor on site, so that's where you will need a CSCS card. So I've added some links here. By the way, I will add this, actually I will share this actually details with yourself afterwards, so you don't need to write or anything. I will click on that, and that will take you basically the requirements actually about the CSCS card, how many different types CSCS cards are. So this is the main CITB website. I mean, they are responsible for setting up actually the health and safety and environment sort of test. So this is the official site. So you can go there. It's very useful information actually. I'm not going to go through actually line by line, I mean, what they have mentioned here. But in terms of how you would identify what sort of CSCS card you would need, how much that cost, or what the test pattern. So these are the sort of things I will cover actually now. So for instance, I mean, if for yourself, basically, because there's a number of CSCS cards available there. So the first question comes, I mean, which one you should opt for, basically go for. So on this one here, you see here clearly say what type test do I need to take. So CSCS card finder, so you can simply click on that one there, and that will take you to the actually card finder. And what it does simply, you can add your qualification there. So click on that one, and for instance, I mean, if I just scroll down, just an example, or if you just say, are you BSc civil engineer, or is it BTech or something like that, what your qualifications is, so we can go through that as well.
BTech.
Is it BTech?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if we could find directly BTech there. This is all actually alphabetical order. So I suppose see here's BTech level 6 diploma. So let's for instance we select that one. This qualification is now covered by a partner card engineering skills. BTech diploma 6 in buildings. Oh, shall we try by the occupation? Let's just try there. Highways. Highway maintenance, shallow drainage, highway maintenance, motor payment. So what you're relevant actually in these, obviously there's lots of professions here. So it's just choosing the right one actually. So that all, I suppose, I mean, that would be relevant to yourself, like maintenance, curbs.
Flexible payment, sir. Flexible payment.
Is it payment?
Flexible payment. Yes, sir.
Do you have qualification or memberships of professional qualification? Yes.
No.
Well, qualification means, I mean, like a sort of a BTech and degree, I suppose. It's not about the membership only. So I say or membership of professional body. So I suppose, yeah, it comes to the NVQs basically and the diploma. So let's. So it's a skill actually, but I doubt it actually because what you said, 11 years experience,
Yes.
and in the field. I would rather go to, like, I mean, if you're going like specific to the site, I mean, like you're supervising these like a contractor on site, the card should be I suppose that will be the manager's sort of level with 11 years experience, which is the black card.
Yes.
So I would doubt that one. So actually, rather than that, you could go and contact actually directly to the there is a contact number there,
Sure.
and you can just ask them, this is my qualifications and this is my experience, which one is relevant to myself basically, and they can straight away basically they may ask you to send basically your certification or your qualifications so they can verify and they will identify. But looking at your experience, 11 years experience, and your sort of, yeah, the diploma, I would rather go to the black card, which is for managers. That would be more relevant to yourself. Although, yeah, the system is a bit vague actually. It doesn't account for any experience, anything as such. So yeah, that would my take there basically. So I would suggest, I mean, going, yeah, just call them there, and I'm sure, yeah, that they will just guide you for the relevant. But as I said, I mean, your relevant should be the black card, the least. Um, right. Okay. So CSCS card finder, as I said, I mean, like the direct way will be just call that number, and I'm sure, yeah, that they're gonna give you the relevant sort of, yeah, the card requirements. Yeah, as far as I know, it should be the black one. The actually preparation. So what do you need? How to prepare? I mean, if you're going for the manager professional card, so there is actually, again, I will go to the same website, and there is actually this guidance, the health and safety test for managers and professional. So you have different sort of options. Either you can go for paper, download as a PDF, DVD, or app. Basically, I would prefer basically the app, and that will actually on your mobile or your iOS or Android, you can download them. It only costs basically £7 there, but it covers everything what you would get as a paper copy as well, basically. So all the whole book should be there, and there would be mock tests there as well. So this is the relevant actually book what you need for managers. So only that one book, I mean, that is self-sufficient. I mean, if you prepare for that one, that will guide you throughout, yeah, for the test there. I think the paper one is quite expensive, so I would rather opt for either PDF or, yeah, the app basically. That would be more sort of the cheap option. So that's the second step basically, to prepare for the test. After that, like, I mean, once you're prepared, you're ready to go for the test, so you need to book your test again. It's again through the same website, so you need to go on again, yeah, CITB, and you just go there and book online. You click on that, add your details basically. So here, this is for those, I mean, who already have a bit of user, who already are registered. If not, so you can create your own web account there. So simply, I mean, as if, I mean, you're making your new email account. I mean, similar to that basically. There's no complicated stuff there. So you can make your account, and you can pay online for the test as well. So it's a straightforward basically process there for CSCS. The cost actually for the test itself is only £22.50 basically, which you will pay actually when you register yourself basically to apply. That's what you will pay online as well. And so once you have done all this sort of, yeah, up to here, you will appear for the test, which is obviously, I mean, if you're well prepared, generally there will be 50 question in the test, which is computer based basically, just multiple choice questions. So you 50 question, I think for managers is 46 questions you need to make it correct. So that's what you get you through basically. Yeah, you just get a pass for that one. So what happens after that? So once you pass that test, you will receive a certificate straight away from CITB, and there will be a reference number there, and then you can apply for the CSCS card, which is a separate sort of, yeah, all you need is just go there and apply for the card, basically for the CSCS card, the relevant card. So you actually pay the £36. I presume, yeah, there is £36 for the card itself. So in total, actually, for the test itself is £22.50, and for the card itself is £36. So you apply for the card, and they will post it at your home address. Basically, that's how you get the card. But I suppose, I mean, like, considering you are in India, I doubt it. I mean, that will be an option actually to apply from India, because I was trying to search actually if you can apply for these sort of, yeah, tests from overseas. I couldn't find anywhere on their websites or anywhere, because they just ask you I mean, when you try to actually go for the test, they ask you to select the center, I mean, where you want to appear for the test. So it's in person. I suppose, I mean, during the pandemic, it was online test as well, but I'm presuming now it's back to norm. So you have to go actually in person, I mean, to select the test. So I suppose, I mean, there will be no choice, I mean, for yourself, I mean, to apply from India. So it has to be here in the UK. So that's what I found actually. I did try actually to see if there's any option available, whether you can apply from overseas, but I couldn't find, yeah, anywhere actually that they mention about it. And in fact, yeah, I tried to actually go for the test, and going through the process myself actually, just to see where it takes me, and it just asks you about to select your timing and your centers actually within the UK to appear for the test. So that's where you would be actually, unfortunately, you won't be able to apply and to get the CSCS card from overseas. But generally, I would say, I mean, CSCS card is really easy task actually to get one. As I said, it's only that one book or reference, yeah, book actually I mentioned. That's all you need to go through. So it's really easy. I mean, you can go through that book in a couple of days basically and prepare yourself. And I'm sure it's not hard. I mean, with sort of your experience as well. So it's all about the health and safety anyway. So it's not technical at all. So it's mostly common sense and the health and safety sort of legislation. That's all it is. So I wouldn't say, I mean, like, it's really the only driver to get a job in the UK. I mean, if you can tick all the rest of the boxes actually to get a job in the UK, I'm sure this won't be the only one. I mean, that will restrict you to get into the UK, if I'm not mistaken. So that's not the hardest sort of thing to get one. As I said, I mean, it's really straightforward process there. And like, I mean, even the labor needs to get one, and there is hardly much difference actually for the labor and for the professional as well. They need to go through exactly the same process as well to go through the test. And so obviously you can compare yourself basically, like, if the labor can get it, obviously with your profession 11 years experience, should be straightforward for yourself as well. But unfortunately, as I said, I mean, I don't think it's possible from overseas, so you won't be able to get that from India. But something actually for information, if you get all the information just by the time when you are around in the UK, so you can appear, I mean, straight away using these information. So, any questions so far, Venkat?
No, sir. No, sir. Nothing. Understood, sir.
Okay, right. So moving on to your second question, ICE membership. Obviously, one of my strong sort of subject is relevant to Institution of Civil Engineers. which I'm member of for more than a decade now. So I've added a link actually. So this will give you lots and lots of information. I mean, I don't, again, yeah, I won't go through each line by line there, but I've provided you all the information what you need actually to become a qualified civil engineer. So this is actually the main, yeah, the official website, and you will get all the information. What I mean, as a newbie who doesn't know about the ICE or the membership at all, I mean, everything should be there, and there are actually contexts there as well, which I will share actually on my presentation there as well. But yeah, just to reiterate, I mean, to become a professionally qualified engineer, there are three sort of, yeah, stages, basically what you need to go through. So these are the three main sort of, yeah, stages. So the first one is your education, second is your work experience, and the third is professional review. So these are the three stages you need to go through. So for instance, education, again, it depends of your level of education. I mean, if you are BTech, you, and with your experience, so you are more likely to go into one of these ones, basically incorporated or EngTech. So you will go through one of these process. And again, I mean, like you can contact, yeah, directly the ICE, and they will actually confirm that before you take any steps anyway. So they can check your actual qualification to make sure you are on the right path. So the incorporated, I'm sure, yeah, you should be eligible for IHE the least, I would say, because 11 years experience is good enough, and you can go straight to the IHE. And the requirements are for IHE and CHE is pretty much similar. It's not a huge difference. I mean, there'll be 7 attributes which I will come, yeah, later on actually, what you need to achieve to confirm basically you can become IHE or CHE basically. So there are 7 attributes you need to achieve to become that qualified, which will be you will be tested upon in your professional review in the third stage, basically upon, yeah, those attributes. So first thing first, your qualification. Looking at your qualification, I would say you will be eligible for IHE, but that can be confirmed with straight away with an email with the ICE. I will share, yeah, their email, and you would find actually on this website as well. So that's the first thing. Work experience, you already have 11 years experience, so we call it initial professional development, basically IPD. So you need to show you have achieved those attributes which are mentioned as 7 attributes in your experience. As long, I mean, you are competent about your experience, that you have achieved all those attributes, so that means you have covered your work experience or IPD, so you are prepared for the next stage, professional review. So in the professional review, again, yeah, you got 3 steps there to cover. So the first one is initial application. So you will provide, basically, it's just filling up a application form, and you provide all the relevant information, actually, how you ticked off all the development of actually the attributes there. You submit your actually report there, which will show how you achieve those attributes, which are, again, yeah, I'll come later on. So you need to have that report ready, and then once you submitted this, you will be given actually the dates for your professional review. And on the professional review, it's like an exam, basically. So they're generally two sort of parts. I mean, maybe you go for the presentation first. So in presentation is approximately 15 minutes. Actually, you get to present actually your professional qualifications. I mean, your attributes. You need to present that to the 2 actually examiners. And it's like, I mean, on the table, there will be actually 2 examiners on one side, you will be on the opposite side, and you just go and give them a small presentation. And you, the primary, the primarily, you need to just basically mention about how did you achieve those attributes. and how did you met those ones. So there will be presentation after presentation. They will ask you questions actually based on those ones, based on your experience. So I would say, as long, I mean, you are competent at the start, like, I mean, when you say, yeah, you have achieved, you have enough experience to cover all those attributes, I'm sure, yeah, professional review comes really easy, because the question answer sessions are pretty much, yeah, basically about your experience, which you already know about yourself. Basically, you already achieved them, yeah, in your experience. So it's a straightforward process in that sense. As long, I mean, you're competent about experience, that is the main thing, and you presented them actually in your report that you have achieved all those attributes. So professional review, so presentation is one part, and there is essay writing is the second part. So in essay writing is generally there will be two questions, which is a written exercise. One will be very much relevant to your experience. So one of the question will be pretty much relevant to yourself. And the other second question would be a random question relevant to engineering, obviously. Like it could be something in the line of sustainability, or maybe carbon emissions, something like that. It will be relevant to engineering, but may not directly relevant to your experience. So these are generally the two questions you will get, and you have to attempt basically one of them, and you need to write about those sort of, yeah, essay. So these are the two actually parts in the professional review. And after professional review, obviously, so you get the results, and it's a directly pass or fail. Basically, that's what you get after that. So I would say, obviously, it's a quite lengthy process. But obviously, the main thing I generally say for experienced personnel like yourself, it's just the first step. I mean, that is the hardest way to start. That is the hardest. Once you get going, actually, the ball is rolling. It's everything comes itself. So the first thing first, you need to have, yeah, basically gather all the information about your experience. Obviously, you've been working well in the past 11 years, so you need to gather all those experience, and then compare that with the development objectives. Actually, what is required actually to achieve from ICE. So you need to compare your experience against the development objectives, and you need to be, I'm pretty certain when you go through that exercise, straight away you would understand, I mean, if you have already achieved them all, or if there's still some lacking in your experience. So straight away you will figure out yourself there. And if that is the case, generally you would go to your sort of, yeah, supervisor or your line manager. I mean, these are what I'm trying to achieve, and if there's any relevant sort of, yeah, projects or anything relevant experience I need, I mean, on the project, so I need to achieve them. Basically, that is the general process. I mean, we go through here in the UK. So look at the objectives, the development objectives, and where your experience is lacking, and you just discuss that with the line manager. That's what I need to achieve, basically, and that's how you get actually ticked off all the development objectives in that process, and then you're well prepared to go into the next professional review. So that is generally, all in all, actually the process you need to go through to achieve the ICE actually membership. I've added actually a few more additional sort of, yeah, links there, like a free webinars online. These are free webinars online. I mean, you can just register yourself and attend a few of these webinars, and that will give you a lot more sort of details. See, I mean, they're literally available every day. Like it's in, yeah, tomorrow as well. Yeah, 2nd August. The 2nd August too there. In fact, yeah, quite a few there. So you can register yourself for free there, and you can dial in and just listen to them. Basically, they will give you all the details there, and they happen from time to time, basically, just to guide actually the members there. So you can also register yourself and get a bit more information about the membership, and you can directly ask questions as well. You can type in your question in the webinar, and I'm sure, yeah, you will get all the guidance what you need. Uh, right, I think I already covered the 3 steps actually: education, work experience, and professional review. Yeah, any questions before moving on?
Nothing else. Fine. I understood it.
Okay, so yeah, I already covered these three there. I've mentioned about the attributes for professionally qualified membership. So these are the main attributes what you need to achieve to become a chartered engineer. So you see here, ING attributes, CNG attribute, and tech attributes, right? So if you look at the attributes itself, they are exactly the same attributes. So what it means, like, I mean, these are the attributes: understanding and practical application of engineering. And then in each so attributes, you need to make sure you have achieved all of them, basically. So this is attributes for ING, actually. And that's where I believe you are more, this would be more relevant to yourself. So make sure you go through all these ones and see if you have already achieved that through your experience, basically. That's the first exercise you need to go through. So as I said, I mean, there are 7 attributes, and they cover basically the whole life cycle of engineer. If you look at this, like, I mean, this is engineering applications, this is management and leadership, your commercial ability, health and safety, welfare, sustainability, interpersonal skills, communication, and professional commitment. If you consider, the 7 attributes, it just makes you a round sort of all-rounder engineer. Basically, you cover everything. So that's where I said, I mean, you need to go through all of these attributes and see if you already cover them in your experience. If not, then you need to just pick those ones specific, that this is one of them actually I need to cover, and I need to get experience actually on those specific ones, and then to cover basically. And this covers this covers all the IPD, what I said earlier. The second stage. First is education, second is your work experience, which is IPD. So this is your IPD. So that's the first thing you need to do with your experience, and see if you can cover all those with your experience. If that is the case, then you are pretty much ready actually to go for your next stage, actually, for the professional review, where you will actually draft the 5,000 word report, and then you appear for the exam. Right. And then some more details about the fee subscription. So, all again, I mean, these are the links, but they all go to the same website actually on the ICE. So they will be all on the ICE. So this is we only basically all the details you would find on the ICE website. So this will give you basically the insight how much that will cost you. It's quite a lot actually. I'm paying 300 and I think 40 something pound actually for my annual subscription. So, but this is actually for the professional review. See that incorporated. That's where for to appear for the review, basically for the exam. That's where you need to pay. So these are all the fee. I mean, it's beforehand. You can check basically how much that will cost you actually to go through the process. And then obviously once you achieved the target, like if you become the member, then you have the annual sort of subscription as well. So you will have the subscription there. You have to pay for those as well. Generally, if you are working for the actually employer here in the UK, so the employer covers actually bear all these fees actually that they pay on your behalf. So you're not charged at all actually. So it's complete actually, that they are paying you everything. So even the annual membership as well. So actually that's what I generally pay myself actually, the 325. This is my annual subscription I pay for. So this is the fee you need to consider, and as I said, I mean, generally that will be paid by the employer once you go through that process with the employer. Again, some more recorded lectures are added for your information. Actually, there's lots of information actually you can get on the IC website, and these are actually on literally on daily basis. There are events happening around the whole UK, and everything they record as well. So they get on this website actually on this page, and you can listen them whatever your relevant sort of webinars or your lectures are. So you can go there and free. You don't need to actually be a member or anything, you can just watch them straight away, feel free of cost actually, so that there's no restriction. I suppose, I mean, the latest is only for the members, and after 2 to 3 months anyone can access them. So for the initial 2 to 3 months, I think they have been actually restricted for the members only. But the rest actually after 2 to 3 months they become free actually. So there will be lots of, like, I mean, there will be lectures from back in 2017-18, and you can watch them as well, just to enhance your knowledge about actually the UK culture, the UK environment, the sectors actually here in the UK as well. So I'm sure that's going to help. So all these links actually are added here, and you can access them straight away there to enhance your knowledge.
Okay, sir.
So before moving on, is there any questions or any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Okay, right. So the Chartered Institutional Highway and Transportation, that was a challenging for me because this was the first time I was looking at that. As I said, I mean, I'm in the railway sector, so this was a new for me actually to research about it. But again, I mean, I will go through similar as I went through the ICE basically. So we got again, the CIHT website, and that got wealth of knowledge and a resource there. Basically, you can go through all of them. Just to identify actually the knowledge about the UK itself. But in terms of the membership, I mean, it's pretty much what I found is pretty much similar to what ICE offers as well. But you with the ICE, one thing is different, that you will become actually what is called the you will registered with the engineering council with the ICE membership. But here with the CIHT, I don't think you need that membership actually. So you only become a member. You won't be registered with the engineering council. So that's the difference what I found actually. And I don't think there is exam as such as well for CIHT. So all you need actually, you submit the actually I wrote it here, the eligibility here. So what you need is actually minimum 3 years experience in the highway and transportation sector. And the application, it just entails your CV, details of employment, a list of qualification, professional bodies, if that's mandate. I mean, this is not mandatory if relevant. I mean, any sort of your professional bodies. Proposer and seconder, including the professional body that belong to. So that will be endorsed by two actually proposals. So all the application, all you need is these ones, and that need to be endorsed by the two proposers actually, and that should be member or fellow of the CIHT or recognized professional body or relevant sector. So all you need actually, all in all, is these bit there to become a member of CIHT. So there's no more than that actually, and you need actually two sponsors. With the sponsors as well, actually, if you're struggling with the sponsor, generally I would directly go to CIHT and ask them basically, you are from India and actually you are looking for sponsorship, actually the sponsors. There's a membership actually email here I've added as well. And you can directly ask the question, actually, I'm from India, I can't find, I'm struggling actually to find in my relevant sort of department or my company, if you can help me with the sponsor. So I'm sure, I mean, that will guide you and they can provide you, because generally what happened here in the UK, we act as volunteers as well, as a sponsors, as a mentor as well with these institutions. So currently, for your information, I've literally applied actually to become the mentor as well with the Institution of Civil Engineers, which is currently in process. So this is volunteer basically. Generally, we just do voluntarily. So the IC would actually they would allocate me engineers actually to guide them and mentor them. So this is voluntary work. I mean, I'm sure, once you ask the question with CIHT, they can provide you some sponsors or some mentors as well, just to go through the process. So that would be generally the case. But apart from that, it's looking at the requirements is pretty much straightforward. So you can, I'm sure, yeah, you going through that, you can easily become a member of the this CIHT. And again, yeah, I added the link for a fee, basically how much that's going to cost you, and just the benefits. I mean, what you're going to get from the actually out of this membership. And as I said, I mean, for the membership, you can contact them directly and just explain where you sit and you want to achieve basically the membership. You can explain basically your experience, and you would need help with the actually with the sponsors. So that would be, I think, the easiest is this one. I mean, if you want to go, but I would say, obviously, I mean, ICE got a lot more weightage in the UK rather than CIHT for sure. If you, because that is really, really, I mean, like throughout the world, actually, I should say, ICE is very recognizable throughout the world. I mean, if you become the ICE member, but there's no harm actually getting CIHT if it's straightforward. Obviously, it does add value to your CV as well. I mean, if someone knows, I mean, in the UK market, that you are a member of CIHT, that means you are actually, you know about the industry here in the UK, and it does add value actually to your profile. So it's always a plus actually for your profile to get the chartership. So is there any question before moving on to the next question?
Sir, could you some move down the slide, sir?
Okay.
No,
So
up, sir, up. Move up the slide. Previous point. Okay, sir. In that proposer and seconder, including, and
yes,
we need two members to
you
sign
need,
in.
yes, the two members, they will endorse all these. So what
Okay,
happened
sir.
actually? So once you prepared your application, right? So what the actually the institution will do, they will contact the proposer, basically the true proposer. And obviously, I mean, they won't go directly for the interview or any exam, like, I mean, with the ICE. So in this case, they will contact the proposer and they will actually ask the question with proposer. I mean, if you are eligible to become a member. So that's the process actually, because here there's no exam, so they won't assess you directly. All you are doing is just providing the information actually about your experience, about your CV. So all the confirmation about the membership will come from the proposers. So what happened actually, once they have allocated you the proposers there, you will actually have meetings with the proposer and you will explain actually, this is what my experiences are. So you would actually guide them. I mean, this is my experience. Obviously, they will ask you the questions as well. I mean, how did you achieve such and such sort of experience? They will ask you those questions to become a member. But it does mean that actually the institution itself will go directly to the proposer rather than asking you the question to become a member. So that's the difference actually between the ICE and the CIHT. So because the ICE actually you need to go through the exam, so there's no much involvement from the proposer itself. So you directly being assessed by the institution there. But here it will be primarily, yeah, the proposer will dictate actually whether you are eligible to become a member.
Sure. Okay, sir. That's good.
Right. So moving on to the next one, Institution of Highway Engineer. So again, I mean, this is pretty much similar. I found it, to be honest. As I said, I mean, like I was just researching for the first time. I couldn't find really huge difference, but what I did found actually, the CIHT has more weightage in the UK than IHE. That's what I found. So that's the only difference I find in terms of like a grades or membership. I mean, all the details again. I mean, it's pretty much similar as the ICE. Like, I mean, membership type. I'll edit the link again. Yes, it comes to the same actually link here. It's again the same, like fellow, you member, associate, apprentice, student grade. So you go all the membership here. Like you can go for the membership here. You can go through the requirements there. It's straightforward. It's not much. So there are again 2 steps here again. Like I mean, you can either become only member, like you would for CIHT as well. So you can only become a member of this institution, which again doesn't require any exam or anything as such. It's only the application in that case. But there is a next stage as well. If you want to become basically register yourself with the engineering council, in that case you have to go through the professional registration, and that will require similar to the ICE. Actually, you will go through the exam sort of stage in that case. So, I mean, this is primarily 2-stage, I mean, like, which is a combination of both the ICE and the CIHT. So either you want to become a member, which is straightforward, like for the member process. So you can basically sign up online, membership fee, and basically that they will check basically straight away as a member there, and you provide all the information basically about your CV, about your experience, about your certificates, and they will assess you to become basically take you as a member. That's it, simple as that. And say it can deal within 6 weeks, actually the shortest sort of span. I mean, within 1.5 months you can become a member there, as long you fulfill their requirements. But the next stage, as I said, I mean, for professional registration, I mean, with the engineering council, that's where you need to go through that ICE sort of process, the exam process. So it's completely up to yourself, basically, whether you want to go through this IHE. Again, you can see here that are exactly the same, which we already talked about in the ICE basis. So CIHT, IHE, and Tech, basically, that they are exactly the same. So you have to go through these processes basically to become and register yourself with the actually engineering council. Again, the guidance is completely here. You can click on these ones, CIHT Incorporated, for instance. If you click on that one, they will give you all the guidance, what you need. And it's pretty much similar to what we already talk about, the attributes with the ICE. So it's pretty much similar process you have to go through. So they have engineering practices and learning, what further learning you need. So personalized report options. So it's pretty much, I would say, it's the same process as you would go with the ICE, basically, to get registered yourself with the engineering council in this case. But it's completely up to yourself whether you only become a member with the IHT, or you want to become actually register yourself as a with the engineering councils as well. But I would say, considering all 3 sort of these institutions, again, I would say the ICE is basically on the top, and I would say, I mean, that would be ideal actually with your experience. And I would say the first thing you can do is just go through the attributes, and if you reckon, if you already have the experience, you already achieve those attributes, then it will be a straightforward process actually to go to the next stage and the professional review, and that will be ideal for yourself. But obviously it's worth checking, go through all these other information as well, like I mean with the IHE and the other CIHT as well, just to see if that fits your bill as well, basically. I mean, if you reckon you can even achieve these ones, there's no harm actually, there's no limitation how many membership you can get. Actually, there's always a positive actually on your profile, on your CV as well. I mean, the more you can get professional association, the better. But all in all, again, I did actually the membership fee and the actually some help. You can directly contact them if you got any questions as well. Just additional resource again, because everything goes to the same engineering council. Basically, all these institutions are affiliated with engineering council. So just added a link for your information, so you can get wealth of information from this website as well, like here, professional registration, education skills, professional development there, the IPD, CPDs, everything basically. You can click on them, just read them through. Again, yeah, if you see, it's again, it comes to the same point. So it goes in circles, these three, EngTech, INCN. So wherever you go, basically, what institution you go, you will actually, yeah, counter these sort of, yeah, recognitions there. And for yourself, as I said, just concentrate for the time being, ING. You can, as I said, before you go in too much depth, I would say send an email to ICE to confirm that you are eligible actually for ING. And once they confirm, then you can gather and go all the knowledge about, yeah, how to become ING. And as I said, you can get wealth of knowledge from all these websites here actually. So all these links will lead you to wealth of information there, and I'm sure that that will give you a direction actually how to achieve these memberships. So lots of information, and it did help me as well, especially with the highways actually, which in the past I never tried those actually those institutions, but it did help me actually how to get into those as well. But as I said, I mean, all in all, I mean, it's up to yourself. Actually, you're the best judge of yourself, about your experience, and basically where you sit yourself. Whether, as I said, I mean, ideally, institution of a civil engineer, I mean, that is ideal from UK perspective. Is world recognized sort of institution, but it doesn't harm anything. I mean, if you want to go with the yeah, CIHT or IHE, basically, it doesn't harm anything. Even if you, for the time being, I mean, if it's easy from India basically to get the membership there, and it's easy to achieve it from there, definitely that will add value to your profile, and it will make your life a bit easier when you apply for the jobs actually from India, because you would have the knowledge of the industry here, the highway and transportation UK. Basically, that's what the primary reason is. I mean, once you get the membership, that mean directly the employer can see you are a member, so you have the knowledge of the actually the sector here. So that's all I wanted to add. I mean, if you have any questions, not relevant, I mean, anything relevant we already discussed, or anything else you want to discuss, so feel free. Yeah, just throw your questions.
No, sir. All understood, sir. I see ING or chartered engineer like that you told us. Sir. For general membership also, we need to review the profile, sir. For general
Sorry, can
membership, general membership.
no, for so general membership with the actually, as I said, I mean, with the IET, or yeah, CIHT, you can go directly, as I said, I mean, like with your experience, your CV, and they do require actually there, as we discussed, I mean, a couple of sponsors there as well. So, I mean, it doesn't go through the exam process. You don't need to go through the exam process. So you just become a member just by submitting your experience and your CV.
Okay.
But the actually the exam comes in picture when you wanted to become actually register yourself with the engineering council, which is basically primarily all these institutions are registered with the engineering council. So if you want that registration with the engineering council, that's where the exam part here comes in picture. And I would say, as I mentioned earlier as well, like, I mean, you got, I think you've got plenty of experience there. So, I mean, if you go through the attributes for the ING with the ICE, if that fits the bill, basically, if you already cover them in your experience, it would be a straightforward process for yourself. Basically, you cover them and then you go for the exam. And as I said, exam is pretty much, I mean, that would be based on your experience. So all the presentation that would be based on your experience, the question answer session would be based on your experience, the written exam, essay exam, that would be based on your experience as well. So it become a really straightforward. So that is really, really important, just to identify. and actually tell your experience based on the requirements, the attributes requirements, basically what the attribute requirements are and what your experiences are. If they're both tallies, I mean, they matches up. So I think that should be the straightforward process from there.
Okay, sir. What is the so what about the highway industry, sir? Is there openings are there for outsiders like overseas from India? I want to apply. Is there openings are there? Demand is there for highway sector?
Are you talking about the sort of job opportunities?
Yes, sir. Opportunities is demand.
So the job opportunities, I would say, I generally say in my videos as well, basically, there is a huge demand. I mean, for all the engineering sector in the UK, the application process will be exactly the same, which we actually normally do here in the UK as well. You will go on the job portals and you look at the actual description, what the actual job specifications are. If you can fulfill those requirements, so you apply for the job, and obviously, I mean, if the employer, the agency, and if they thinks, I mean, your experience is relevant, obviously, all you need is you're submitting your CV. So everything is based on your CV. That is very important. I generally say you need to ensure when you submit your CV, you need to ensure you check the description of the job, basically what they require in the job. That should be match up. Basically, you can't just submit your CV for completely different random sort of job there. It's not about just the job title, it's the description, what exactly they required actually the candidate for. So as long your experience, your CV shows that, I mean, that relevancy between the job description and your CV, that's where you get a call basically, and you go to the next stage, which is the interview stage. That is the general process. So it doesn't matter whether you are sit in India or you sit here in the UK. That is exactly the same procedure. So you would apply online. You would look for the jobs. I mean, if they are the ones that they're relevant to your experience, so you send your CV, and you need to ensure you cover all your relevant experience based on the job description, and you just wait for the call, basically.
Okay, sir. Okay. That's also. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Venkat. I wish you the very best of luck. And as I said, I will share actually the presentation, the links actually I've shared, we go through in this presentation. So in this session, I will share those ones. Also, I will upload this video to the YouTube channel as well. And I'm sure you have lots of other relevant candidate that will be keen actually to know about all these memberships as well, and that will benefit them as well. And if you got any question, anything, just send me an email. I'm sure I can respond, I mean, directly through the email as well.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Okay, sir. Thanks. Good.